So we're gallivanting into yet another stupid fucking war in the Middle East based on dubious claims about weapons of mass destruction. Because that's worked so well before, hasn't it? I don't know which benefit I like the most. Hundreds of thousands of dead Iraqis, thousands of dead and maimed US troops, the emergence of ISIS, an international migrant crisis, or the literal reintroduction of slavery. Take your pick. And based on what? A chemical weapons attack that Assad had no motivation whatsoever for carrying out. An incident which hasn't even been properly investigated by anyone. We're going to start World War III over that. So Assad was on the verge of victory, and he just decided to bring on global condemnation and coalition airstrikes for the hell of it, for shits and giggles. Do you think we were born yesterday? Well, you see, I was winning the war against ISIS and al-Nusra, but then I decided to order an illogical chemical attack to turn the whole world against me because everything was just going too well for me. I mean, at least last year's airstrike was based on solid evidence that Assad carried out a chemical weapons attack, so why not now? Oh no, that's right, Mattis had to admit nearly a year later there was no evidence he did. Virtually every major war in living memory has been started on false pretenses. But fuck it, let's just bomb Syria anyway, right? I mean, we're always so consistent in intervening when Middle Eastern dictatorships kill children, aren't we? Apart from when Saudi Arabia does it on a regular basis and no one gives a shit. Oh, my mistake. We do give a shit because all those cluster bombs they're dropping on Yemeni kids, they came from us because we really care about the children. Theresa May cares about the children. I mean, she admits she doesn't know who carried out the chemical weapons attack, but she's just going to bomb Syria anyway. So Parliament's going to get a vote on Brexit, which the British people already voted for, but attacking another country, which is opposed by the clear majority of Brits. No parliamentary vote for that. Fuck democracy, fuck parliament, fuck congressional approval. Let's just declare war by tweets. But Tony Blair says it's a great idea, and we all know his track record on Middle Eastern intervention is exemplary.
It concludes that Iraq has chemical and biological weapons, which could be activated within 45 minutes.
Yeah, let's listen to that guy. I'm just glad that we still have a strong, righteous, left-wing anti-war movement to speak out against all this. Oh no, that's right, they ditched all that for the far more pressing issues of gender pronouns, shutting down free speech and hating white people. But at least prominent left-wing celebrities are speaking out, right?
We cannot afford to lose more Americans in someone else's unwinnable conflict.
But at least liberal comedians like Stephen Colbert, who used their talents to mock the disastrous occupation of Iraq, are being vocal, right? Oh no, he's too busy making fun of Tucker Carlson for stealing his bit about pandas. And yet, of course, Trump's doing this to distract from the Mueller investigation, to posture as being tough with Putin. Just like Bill Clinton bombed Serbia to distract from Monica's BJ in the Oval Office. Trump is going to war with Russia to prove he's not a Russian agent. 4D chess. So I hope all you clowns are happy that your fevered hysteria about Russian collusion has brought us to the brink of war. Well done, idiots. Oh, and all this just happened to unfold in the same week that Mr. Regime Change John Bolton became Trump's national security advisor. Just a coincidence. Also, just a coincidence that China recently issued the gold-backed yuan to compete against the petrodollar. Russia and China are currently enjoying the best relations ever, meaning the US deep state now needs a pipeline through Syria to compete with Russia for European gas and oil. The last two countries to introduce a currency to compete with the petrodollar: Iraq and Libya. And we all know what happened to them. Again, just a coincidence. It's time to assassinate Assad. Assassinating Middle Eastern dictators. What could possibly go wrong?
We came, we saw, he died.
Oh yeah, literally everything. Russian generals are saying we're closer to nuclear war than during the 1962 Cuban Missile Crisis. Russian state TV is telling its citizens what to take to the bomb shelter. American state TV is telling its citizens about Stormy fucking Daniels.
Stormy Daniels.
Oh yeah, and how are millennials who get PTSD from mean comments on the internet, snowflakes who need puppy cuddle safe spaces when they encounter ideas they don't like, how are they going to cope with a world war? How's that going to work out? Oh, but it's just going to be a little symbolic airstrike like last year, just a little tiny one. No, from everything they're saying, it's not going to be a single target airstrike. It's going to be a massive bombardment. So we're literally acting as ISIS's air force in decimating the armed forces of a secular government that is fighting Islamic jihadists, in support of jihadist rebels who literally round up child hostages and parade them around in cages, in support of the very rebels who themselves used chlorine gas against the Kurds. And we're told we have to do it because it's the moral thing to do. Give me a fucking break. Look at these Syrians in Douma, where the alleged chemical weapons attack took place, after they were liberated from Islamic jihadists by the Syrian army. I mean, they look incredibly unhappy. We better bomb them to make them feel better. I'm just thankful that the integration of Muslim migrants is going really well in Europe, because there'll be millions more on the way after this. And what's the plan for Syria when the regime collapses? Who's going to fill the vacuum? Is anyone asking these questions?
And why would Assad do that, given the certainty it would hurt his own interests? And while we're on the subject, by the way, why is a war in Syria a good idea for the United States in the first place? How would it make us safer, happier, more prosperous? Those seem like reasonable questions to us. In fact, the exact questions you'd want your policymakers to ask. But no, they're not asking them, and they're offended to hear them.
Here's a question for Trump supporters who also support this attack. Does it concern you that you're on the same side as Democrats, the establishment left, the legacy media, the deep state, the military-industrial complex, and the neocons? Because if it doesn't, you've lost your frigging minds. Be prepared. There is a small chance that our horrendous leadership could unknowingly lead us into World War III. Who said that? Donald Trump. Do I think this will actually lead to World War III? Probably not. But world wars have been started because of less. We can only pray that there's a slither of hope, that Trump remembers his own warning and walks us back from this awful precipice. That he doesn't let the deep state blackmail him, trick him, manipulate him into starting yet another stupid fucking war. Please click the big red button to subscribe. It really helps me when you do that. And click the bell to allow notifications so you never miss a new video.